Another podcast by the Burning Donut. Known on police record as a brony slash anther artist, the Burning Donut is really Aaron Vink, his dual identity known by anyone who checks out his online galleries. And now, to protect freedom of speech and to produce some kick-ass artwork, rides the Burning Donut. Hello everyone, this is the Burning Donut reporting as live as possible in recorded format. Recorded in the beautiful Dog vs. Zombie Studios located in Kennewick, Washington. Beautiful, beautiful country. Seriously, it is. Okay, not really. Anyway. Well, I want to try and get started on this whole podcast thing, so I figured I'd better get going. As most people know, or as most people who I think would be watching me anyway know, that this Thursday is Rainfurrest. It's a big convention and everyone comes together, and yes, I know everyone thinks like, uh-oh, it's a furry convention. Bunch of weirdos getting together having sex in animal costumes. No, that's not it. I will be attending Rainfurrest. I will be there. And if you're asking how to recognize me, I will be wearing a black fedora that has the Shadow Bolts cutie mark on it. Black fedora with the Shadow Bolts cutie mark. I will also be carrying a horrendously ugly Pikachu backpack. Yes, a ginormous backpack that is bright, ungodly, horrible yellow. I mean, seriously, this is like the only backpack I could find for less than $20. Well, okay, it was right at $20 and less than like 60 to, gosh only knows, like $100. Who knows? That actually had room for my 17-inch laptop. I will have a longboard deck and a complete longboard in the art show, so please check them out and buy them, because I do kind of need money, so if you could buy the stuff I'm selling, that would be very appreciated. I will also have several hand-drawn art cards that I will be trying to sell for roughly $15 a piece. I will also sell the usual, ink commissions, sketches, whatever else that normal artists like sell at this kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, it was an interesting weekend, I guess. I've actually been working pretty hard trying to get these commissions that I have done. I have a skateboard done, and it's basically ready to be shipped, but I have to figure out how I'm supposed to ship skateboards. I've shipped them before, but it's never cheap. Okay. I have, on Saturday, my van was actually broken into. Which, I mean, yeah, for those who don't know, I drive this ginormously ugly 1985 white Chevy Astro box van that has my drawings and crap all over it. It's pretty weird. It's got my drawings and stickers and stuff. I drew like Amaretsu on the side of it. It's like you cannot miss it if you see this vehicle. Okay. Anyway, someone had broken into my van, I didn't even notice at first because like I was going to do my laundry. I put my laundry in. I get in. I sit down, and I see that the faceplate to my CD player was on the ground. And I'm like, at first I'm like, well, that's unusual. Okay, well, so I think nothing of it. Then it's like, then it like dawns on me, like a little bulb goes off in my brain. It's like, oh shit. So I look around, and sure enough, I had a GPS that was hanging in this old backpack I had hanging off the passenger seat. And you could tell that they did some rummaging around in the back of it. I mean, yeah. So at first, I always get a little pissed off when people break into my vehicles. I mean, this is the second time this has happened. Not here. I had a 94 Explorer that was broken into before, and people, I mean, they stole everything that was not nailed down. I mean, I had like a dog collar wrapped around the center console. I had if anyone remembers the old H.B. Halicki car chase movies where he always had like the line of sunglasses along the dashboard, I had that. I had tons of sunglasses. I had, all my CDs were stolen, like all of the plugins for all the electronics that I didn't keep in the car, but like the plugins and chargers and everything, those were all stolen. And it was just like they did everything they could, except ironically they didn't take the most expensive pair of sunglasses, and all my CDs were burnt anyway, so yeah. But anyway, this time they managed to make off with my GPS, which isn't too big of a loss because I have GPS on my phone, and I was looking through my van, and I discovered that they stole one of the skateboards that I made that I had in the back. Yeah, apparently there's like a big demand for skateboards with My Little Pony characters on them, right? I didn't know that, did you? And like, so, I mean, the thing is that completely made no sense to me. I mean, if anyone is seen with this board, most of the people who own skate shops know who I am. They know my stuff anyway. And it's like, what the hell? Was he going to steal it and try to sell it? Was he going to steal it and paint over it? It makes no sense to me. So, like, I'm kind of getting pissed off. And then my sister comes in and tells me, and apparently every car that had unlocked doors was gone through, which, I mean, I hate to say is kind of comforting because at least it means they weren't focusing on me. They weren't be like, oh, look at this weird guy. We're going to like get in his car and see if we can steal something. No. This actually meant that I just happened to not have locked doors that day. Which, seriously, on these old cars is not that hard to accomplish. All right, anyway, they had this old project car that they have sitting out, and they had apparently gotten in it. And this is like an old, like 1980 Ford Fairmont or something, and like it's a car they bought for like a couple $100 that the original plan was to fix up, but they haven't really gotten around to it a whole lot. Like all the other like good cars that they have were all locked, so like they hadn't gotten in there, but it basically means that they had gone through every single car that they possibly could. Now, the interesting thing is that, time goes on, and me and my stupid, I'll go around and look for clues. I jump on my bike and I ride around and just, start looking around, seeing if maybe other cars were broken into or something, or who knows. I don't know what I was thinking. I was actually fairly concerned because there's this one guy down the road who has an old Jeep with like no doors at all. So I was actually kind of concerned for that guy. But anyway, I got back. I'm putting my bike back in my van, which is another ironic thing, is that like my bike is honestly worth more than my skateboard and my GPS put together. But hey, whatever, right? Anyway, as I'm putting my bike away, I see this like skateboard in the yard a few houses down. And it's like, wait, what? So I go up, and I'm like, no, that can't be my skateboard. And sure enough, there it is. It was my skateboard. And now, ironically, you could tell that they had actually tried to wash off the stuff that was on the grip tape. I had written like the word brony and stuff on the board. So honestly, this was like not something someone could easily get away with just having, you know. So I got my skateboard back, but and then like the ironic thing is there was another skateboard that was just randomly thrown into a yard probably about a block down, and was just I walk up to it and I'm like, what are the odds that this skateboard is also another fairly written on board? I get up to it and I look at it, and sure enough, someone had quite crudely written 420 and a whole bunch of badly renditioned pot leaves on it. But it was enough. It was enough that they couldn't be caught with it without someone knowing whose it was. Which, as glad as I am to get my board back, it makes me wonder who else lost a board that wasn't fortunate enough to have a whole bunch of crap drawn on it. So, yeah, that's about it. I'm at about 10 minutes now, so I hope you enjoyed this as it is. I will be at Rainfurrest for most of the con, for those who care. And I hope to actually be able to start more stuff with this podcast here soon. Because, this is still in pretty early stages and everything like that. Like one thing I want to do is I want to have like a weekly thing where I read the best comments I get on my artwork, because I mean seriously, I have some hilarious comments that people make on my artwork. I might even make like an entire podcast just dedicated to some of my favorite comments. I mean, some of these people really put a lot of creativity in coming up with really creative like ways to say that they like your work. All right. Well, that's all for now. And I know that this isn't very fandom-oriented stuff right now. And I guess I'll see you guys all later. Donut out.